Good morning, drummers! My name is Jared O'Leary. I've been playing the drums for well over 20 years, but I still have plenty to work on. You're going to see me work on some stick control variations today, using some of the free resources on my website. There's over 1,500 hours of free drumming content, almost 1,600. By the end of this week, there will be 1,600. I release a new play-along every single morning, 7 o'clock Pacific time, so stay tuned. We're going to be working on the stick control variations at the very bottom down here underneath the technique section. So this is stick control variation playlist. When you click on it, it shows you all 4 of them. Now, before I get into it, I want to say, Demetric, thank you for following on Facebook, and Unique, thank you for following on Twitch. That just happened a couple minutes ago. I was getting set up, so I appreciate you. All right, so we're going to warm up. Now, in every single one of these variations of a play-along, if you go into the timestamps in the description, you can jump to whatever BPM you want. So if you want to start off at 100 beats a minute, cool. You just click right here, and boom, you jump to 100. All right. Let's warm up. Hey, yo, Marilyn. Good morning. Now, this variation of stick control is a 4-2-1 variation. So it does the first pattern 4 times for 4 counts for each one of the patterns. And then you do it for 2 counts, and then you do it for 1 count, which is why it has a 6-4 pattern at the end, because you do it off the right, and then you do it off the left hand. This is a fantastic way of working up your coordination. You can do this on the drum kit by simply making it so that you play, like, let's say the right hand will actually be on the right foot on the bass drum, and then the left sticking will actually be like on the left on the snare or something like that. So you can change up your playing by simply assigning different limbs to different stickings that you see on the screen right here. I'm actually going to slow this down and just get a nice, comfortable, leisurely 80. And then we'll speed it back up again. Just trying to get a nice, big, full, relaxed sound here. Don't know what happened there with my left. Now we're going to start speeding her up. You could go 1 click at a time. It's designed for that. And you could start as slow as 20 if you want to. Like if you're working on these coordination stuff and you're having some issues with it, like let's say you're playing this with your feet. Cool, slow it all the way down to like 40 if you need to. All the timestamps make it so you can play at whatever speed you want. as fast as 160 beats a minute. And there are a few variations of stick control on my website, jaredoleary.com. All right, let's go up by fives. I haven't played in a few days. I did a Fortnite tournament this weekend, and so I wasn't drumming. That took up more time than I normally spend streaming on the weekend. Didn't stream it, recorded it. Didn't qualify, but I got in the top 1%, which is pretty good for playing on PlayStation 5. There's input delay, a little lag while playing. Wasn't used to that. So I focus on strategy, and it paid off. It's good with the sticking on the very last line. Talking messes me up. All right, let's go to 90 now. Yeah, my hands don't feel great. I need a slower warm-up today. Attack. My left hand's unresponsive today. It's being weird. Now, the goal when working on stick control is to get a nice, even sound. It should sound like one sound, just like cut and paste for every single one of them. So whether you're playing with the right or the left hand, try and get it to that sound the same. Now, you will have some like differences in pitch, like this stick is slightly different in pitch than that stick. Where you play on the pad might be slightly different in the pitch. So listen for those, but try and get a nice, even touch to it. So you want the velocity to be the same. Same angle going into the stick, same amount of volume coming out of the pad. In 95. Brain fart. Yeah, I started playing a variation that I'm going to play, the fourth variation that I'll get to. Stay tuned, folks. We'll get there soon. All right, 100. Back into the triple digits. Again, my hands don't feel great, but I'm warming up. Yeah, I was like, oh, I totally forgot the inverted diddle. Or the inverted roll. So, where is it? Line 2, the third measure is just a normal roll. And then the very last measure, measure 5, is an inverted roll. So you start off with right, and then left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right. So it's a roll, but you start off with a single note instead of 2. And it's called an inverted roll when you do that. Pro tip. All right, 105. So I forgot that in the other variations. Whoops. Whoa, didn't mean to back up there. Whoopsies. Let's expand. And 110. And then I'm going to do a stretch and massage, and then I'll play this one faster. You doing that thing where it doesn't scroll back up automatically? I see what it is, YouTube. You being feisty this morning. All right, let's stretch massage. So first thing we're going to do is hold our sticks so that our palms are facing up. And then you pull in, you pull in. Oh, yeah. You just hold that there. Nice. This is a good stretch. Ooh, yeah. And then we go back. Now if you do traditional, hold it there. Switch to the other direction. Hold it there. Hold it longer than I demonstrated. I don't do traditional anymore. Marched it, but now I don't play it. All right, so we're going to stretch the forearms. So we're going to do the underside. You could do it one at a time. You could do it on your pad like this, or you could do it on the wall. The lower you go, the deeper the stretch. Don't put all your weight into it. It's bad. Ooh-wee. Felt good. All right, now we're going to stretch the top side of the forearms. Could do one at a time. Could do it on your pad. Could even do it on your leg. But I'm going to do it on the wall. The higher you go, the deeper the stretch, but don't put all your weight into this again. Got the Excite Bike song stuck in my head. All right. We're going to do thumb to thumb, stretching our fingers. I'm doing it twice as fast by just doing thumb to thumb. You could do it one at a time like this. Trying to be efficient. All right. Ooh, yeah. My left hand is tight. And now the middle finger. I hope if you're watching this, you're following along. Ring finger. If this is too fast, that's okay. When we do the play alongs, you can slow it down on your own. Again, they're all free YouTube videos. All right. Now we're going to massage the forearm. So I'm doing thumb on top and fingers are massaging underneath. Oh, that feels good. Yeah. Floppy flams. I want to play a solo that has some really fast floppy flams, great patterns, and I have no idea how to practice them. Do you have any recommended exercises? I do, actually. I'll get back to stretching here in a moment. So I'll show you this. Okay. So if we go back on my website, jaredoleary.com/drum, over almost 1,600 hours of free drumming content on here. One of the ones that you can use to work on flams is the grid variations. You could do this with triplet, or you could do this with 16th note. Whichever one you feel like working on, doesn't matter. This will help you out. All of these variations are great for working on flams, but some of the ones that are really good with working on flams in particular are the alternating flams variations, whether it's the forwards version or the backwards, as well as the flam on taps. And then, let's see, flam on accents, also another good one. So the flam on alternating flams one. So like if you do this, again, you can, for all of these play-alongs, you can go into the timestamp and jump down really slow. For this one, it goes as slow as 40, or you could go as fast as 200, whatever you want to do. Whenever you're doing this, let's see, I don't even know if I'm warmed up enough for 120. Let's try it. This is normal version. Okay. So you're just going to alternate the whole time. And you can speed that up to whatever speed you want, but that is a fantastic way of working up your flams in particular, the floppy ones, the alternating ones. And there's 38 variations for triplet, and then if you go down to the 16th note version, there's 54 variations of flam stuff on here. So that's how I'd recommend working on some floppy flam stuff. And you can do that if you're working this on tenors, like moving around the different drums, like you can practice doing, like, all my accents are going to be on here and all my taps are going to be on here, and then you just kind of, whatever it is that you're doing. Don't play it with a pad on top of a pad like I just did. But yeah, that's what I recommend. Hopefully that helps. Stick variations. And if anyone else is watching this, what other advice would you give for I should, rephrase that. If anyone else is watching this, what would you recommend for working on floppy flams? I got a text message. All right. Let's get back stretching and massaging. Speaking of, massage this arm. You are very welcome. Feel free to stop by in future streams and ask more questions, or just post it in the comments on YouTube. If you're on the YouTube, on my home screen or on the playlist section, you can also go to the resources that I just demonstrated rather than going to my website. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But if you go here on the home page and then click here, it shows you all of those playlists on my YouTube page if you prefer to stay there rather than go to the website. Whoopsies. Let's see. Okay, so when doing floppy flams, should it primarily be the wrist? Okay, yeah, so that's a good question. So whenever you're doing the floppy flams and whatnot, like for myself, it's really just all about that really fast, like, accent taps, which I guess is another way that you can work on this. Let me show you this. So if you go into the sticking variations, another way that you can work on your floppy flams is just working on, like, grid pattern, and just do this with one hand. So you could just play this whole thing all on one hand as fast as you can while you're doing, because that's what you're going to be doing with the flam exercises as well. Another variation that you can work on is like the alternating upstrokes and the alternating downstrokes variation. The upstrokes in particular will help you out with the flams, but when you're doing this, yes, it's mainly going to be wrist, depending on, like, what technique you're using. There are many ways that you can play and whatnot, but you're not going to be using, like, a ton of arm motion unless you're using some, like, molar and whatnot. So when you're doing this, it's mainly going to be this wrist motion rather than like all arm or finger. But again, it depends on what kind of technique you're using. But when you're kind of whipping these in, that molar motion is going to allow the forearm to kind of get out of the way, but it's mainly derived from the wrist. The primary motion is here, this motion, and this may move, but you're not going to initiate from here, from like the shoulder or from the elbow. You're going to initiate all your motions from the wrist. You want to be relaxed in your fingers, and you want to be relaxed in the forearm, so when you are doing this, you can move the wrist without, like when you're squeezing the fingers, you can't bend your wrist. So if I let go with the fingers, as soon as I squeeze, I can't bend the wrist. And if I am holding with my elbow, like if I am like flexing this or something and like I'm tight, it's very hard to move the wrist compared to when everything is nice and loose. So if you are going to be using wrist technique, which I highly recommend working on, then use that, and this might move a little bit, etc. Hopefully that helps with that. How to speed up paradiddles with traditional grip, especially with the left-hand strokes. I want my paradiddles to be fast, but as clean as a whistle. Okay, good question. Again, I happen to have some exercises for that. Okay, so under the sticking variations of 16th notes, there are some paradiddle variations on here. There are a few variations of them. So you have paradiddle on accents. You've got paradiddle every 5 note. You've got paradiddle 1, 2, 3, 4. And you've got the 1, 2, 4 and the 4, 2, 1 variations. So this is forward and backwards grid variations. When you're working on this, what I'd highly recommend doing is just going into here. If you want this to be like clean as possible, then this is what I do when I'm like working on stuff, just like breaking things down, is I will go to 20 beats a minute. And I will just work on this at this speed. Whether you're doing match grip or traditional, just focus on a nice, relaxed technique when you're playing through this, and just let the stick pull back, get the height, and let the weight of the gravity do the work for you. This is terribly slow, but this is something that was recommended to me by Jeff Queen, who is, I believe, a 4-time world champion snare drummer. So I got a couple of lessons from him. Dude knows what he's talking about. He performed with Blast, like in the original cast. Dude can play. So he recommended starting off extremely slow, like 20 or 40 or whatever, and going up a few clicks at a time. And if you really have the time and the patience, go 1 click at a time. So to get from 20 all the way up to, I don't know, 100 beats a minute, it would take you an hour and a half just to get through that. But if you spend an hour and a half just refining this, going 1 click at a time, you will get so much better at your playing. You'll notice on my website, so like if you go to this lesson section, under this playlist for the live stream drum practice sessions, the last stream that I did a few days ago was on relaxing diddles after an accent. And if you actually watch through this, in the timestamps, it shows you where I was refining diddles after an accent grid and like working on stuff. I started this super slow. Let me actually show you myself playing it. So I started at 20. And then eventually I was going up a little bit. It was at 25. And then I was a little bit faster. Then we got to 50. And eventually I started going up by 5s or 10s, etc. So if you want to like really get good at your technique, go up by 1 click at a time. And that is how you can like really refine stuff. Again, whether you're playing traditional, whether you're playing match, it doesn't matter. Like I march traditional, but now I play match. If you focus on nice, relaxed motions and really loosen things up while playing stuff at 20, because there's like so much space in between each one of the notes that you're playing, it's going to make it so that when you actually play it faster and there's less space in it, your timing is going to be impeccable because you're going to have like controlled it at the slow BPM and then like work on it to go faster, etc. So that's what I recommend. But yeah, take the approach of the technique you want to use when playing fast and apply it when going slow. So play nice and relaxed, nice and light, etc. I'm playing the 2B concert sticks, which took a while to get used to because they are heavier than the Vic Firth ones that I have. Okay, well, if you want to talk about heavy sticks, the ones that I'm using, these are called Hardeman hammers, and they are about 44% heavier than the marching sticks I use, which are Ralph Hardeman sticks. I Have links to them under the gear I use. So if you go to /gear on my website and then just click on percussion, you can see what sticks that I personally use right here. And I'm actually going to be updating this so it's images, so it's just easier to find things. But for like concert sticks, it shows you what I recommend. For the drum kit sticks, I use the Jack DeJohnette's, etc. I like those because they are longer, like the rudimental sticks, and they are a little bit heavier than like some normal sticks. And like when I play with these logs, it makes it so that it's just like it's too light if I play with some light sticks. But if you practice and you just slowly work on it, then you can get to be able to play with these heavier sticks and it'll feel more comfortable, etc. So those are the sticks that I personally use, but another way that you can practice is you can actually practice with your sticks. One of the ways that you can practice if you don't want to be annoying, you can actually practice like this. It will kind of like hurt your forearms, but you can actually like play, like work on your diddles, etc. So you're getting this wrist stroke with your stick like this. If you do traditional, you can do it this way. So you can still get that rotation with your left hand and then still play on here. You can also just play like on your leg. You can play on like a pillow on top of your drum pad or a towel on top of your pad. I will often do that. I'll watch a movie and I'll just put a towel over the tenor pad and then I can just play along. That way I can still hear the movie. My wife doesn't get annoyed. She's also a drummer, so she'll sometimes drum too, etc. So those are some different ways that you can like work on your chops to make it so that the heavier sticks don't feel quite as bad. But I've been playing basically 99% of the time with these heavy sticks for the last like decade, and it's not an issue for me anymore. In fact, when I go to normal sticks, it feels weird. Yeah, seriously, the one click at a time practice technique is the way to go. Like, that is how I got much better at playing, is I started superbly slow and just went one click at a time. If you got an hour, just work on one thing for that hour, or for like 80% of your time for that hour, etc. But I hope that helps. Okay. Anyways, I was massaging. Great questions, by the way. I appreciate it. Now I'm gonna massage the other forearm, the tattooed one. And I do this every single time that I'm practicing because it helps loosen things up. It helps to prevent injuries. You want to have nice, healthy hands, etc. Speaking of, I'm going to massage the back side, and then the thumb is going to massage the palm. And trying to go one at a time. And Rock and Roll Fan, I also just released a short, I think today, actually, that came out that talks about how to speed up paradiddles in particular. So if you check that out under here, under the lessons and tips, boop. If you go to drumming tips and shorts. Okay, so there's one that's coming out later on today, and then there's one that came out this morning, how to speed up paradiddles, and so I talk about that in those clips. Yeah, so hopefully that will help you out as well. But if you want to see the longer discussion on this, that was from... What was it from? Was it from this stream? Nope. Different shirt. Yep. What was from this one? Yeah. Okay, so if you go into here, in the timestamps, I actually include how to improve rudiments and traditional grip. This little section right here, more thoughts on improving rudiments. And this one, even more thoughts on improving rudiments. And I'm specifically talking about paradiddles in those 3 sections. So if you watch that, you can hear like a longer discussion of it. But if you just want to hear like the less than 1 minute excerpt, then just go to the drumming tips and shorts and check out this one that has released, and this one will come out later on this afternoon at 2:30 Pacific time, I believe. Stay tuned. Okay. Whoops, clicked my mic. Now I'm going to massage, and I'm going to massage from the base to the tip, and I do this like 2 times, sometimes more if the fingers are feeling a little off. It's funny how like some fingers get super tight some days, and other days they're nice and relaxed. Like this one. That one's tight. There's a very famous drum corps judge tape where they say something that I won't repeat on the stream, but every time I hear the word tight, I think of it. It makes me laugh. But, you know, trying to be family friendly, because I used to teach elementary school, and well, middle school and high school, and college, but mostly elementary. So I try to not be rude or swear. Okay, let's do stick control variations. We're going back down to here. So I did this variation to just kind of get the blood flowing. I'm going to show you the same thing, but now it's the skeleton version. So we left off at 120, I believe. It's the exact same pattern that we were doing, but now I have to fill in the notes. Let's see if I remember the stick control variation. I usually don't play this one. Here we go. Okay, so it's the exact same pattern that I was playing in the other stick control variation, but now you have to fill in all the notes. All you hear are the hand-to-hand transitions on this, and this is called stick control skeleton. So even though it's written out this way, you play it the way as the other play-along. Let's try it a little bit faster. Let's see if we crash and burn, folks. Stay tuned. We'll go to 125. And then I'm going to show you my two favorite versions of stick control that I always play, which is the filler variations and then the advanced version with filler. Whoopsies. Let's go back. So that's stick control skeleton. This variation. So stick control with filler. You play this pattern, and then you play the exact same pattern, but now you're filling in with the hand. So if you had right, 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 left, with filling in the left hands. Okay, so... let's hear what that sounds like. And we'll slow this down. We'll start off at 100, and then we'll go up by 5s, and we'll go to the crash and burn point. Who knows where that's going to be? We're about to find out. Today's episode of Jared Plays Things. Sometimes poorly. And that's okay. Ew. Slow. I keep wanting to play the advanced version that I'm going to play next. That's the one that I prefer to play. And we'll go up by 5s until I crash and burn, and then we'll go and work on the advanced version of stick control with filler. Slurred out on that last line. Whoops. Now, the great thing about these play-alongs is it allows you to hear whether or not you're playing with perfect interpretation, especially if you're playing it slow. You want to be rhythmically precise, right? Ideally. So playing it at like 40 beats a minute allows you to figure out if you are rhythmically precise or not. So you can practice listening in. Nice. All right, 115. I think 125 might be my breaking point today. Toast ASMR. Whoop. I like second guessed what line I was on because I wasn't looking. And then I just totally messed up. Wasted. Man, I haven't played GTA in a long time. It was a good game series. I started with the original top-down GTA, but then really got into it the third one. A long time ago. So I forget which number of GTA it was, but I got GTA, like, let's say 4. And this was during my undergrad when I was prepping for my recital. And I, like, started playing it and was like, wow, this game's amazing. I'm going to get, like, addicted to this. So I needed to not play that game and instead just focus on my recital. So I actually gave it to my professor, who he would show up at lessons and, like, tell me about all the things that he was doing when he was playing GTA. And so I'd show up, like, work on marimba or whatever, and he'd be like, yeah, well, here's this other thing I did in GTA. I was like, yep, don't rub it in. I'm trying to get ready for my recital. So then when my recital finished, then he gave me back my copy of GTA, and I was able to continue to play it. So, good times. Thanks, Professor. 2004 and 5. Hey, no, I appreciate that. You were an OG. I started my website in 2003. That was my senior year of high school, and it's gone through some changes. So you remember all the free sheet music that I had. I had a previous, like, host for my website. It was Homestead, and they went out of business or whatever. And so when I switched over to Squarespace, I lost all of the emails that had permission to post all of the sheet music. And because I could not, like, find those emails because it was, like, gone, I had to take them down off my website because I couldn't prove that I had gotten copyright permission to post that stuff. But the last year, I've been just, like, posting consistently all these play-alongs and whatnot. So, Eric, hopefully this new content is helpful for you. But appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, I've been creating a bunch of gaming and computer science stuff since then. But originally, my website, in 2003, I made it just for my students, and the, like, first month, like, got hits from around the world, and I had a panic attack, because I was like, oh my gosh, people are going to find the content that I'm writing. Like, it was just me writing exercises and show music and whatnot. But now I stream. Things are weird. All right, let's try 125. We'll see how this goes. Whoop. The description closed on me. Thanks. Eric, you are an OG. Man, that was forever ago. Last year in March was 05. Got into a car accident. Ew, that was rough. Hey, I appreciate that. Eric, the only thing that I ask is that just people share the free content. So if you're still playing, if you're still teaching, just share the stuff on here. That's it. There is a thing like for supporting, like if you're interested in it, you can do this, but really all I ask is just like share it. You can follow, you can like, you can do all this stuff. This helps with engagement, but the number one thing that I ask, just share it with other people. I went into education to just help. So I created this website, all the free stuff on here. But I'm going to now do the advanced version 04 through 6 Blue Knights. Nice. Yeah, actually on, where is it? Here. On my CV page, if you scroll down, this is from 2004. That was our Center for Academy. And then in 05, I got into a car accident. That was my 5th year marching, and I hit my knee on the dashboard. Some other dude ran a red light, and so I couldn't march 06 or 07, so my age out was 07. But I had to watch that from the sidelines, which I broke down into tears at that, because I was like anticipating like giving taps off the field for finals, but nope. Life, sometimes it heads in different directions. All right. This is my favorite version of stick control. It's called Advanced Stick Control with Fillers. So it's the same thing that I was just playing, but now it's got a triple feel to it. So I'll go to a nice leisurely 100. We'll speed it up. Nice. You're working with Ben Davis? That's awesome. Yeah, just sharing the free resources. That's all I ask. Helps more people. Also linked at the top of the video or the stream. Oh, it was rough. How do 30-second notes sound and a cadence because Prince had them programmed on the line? Actually, what you're seeing on the screen is 30-second notes. So we've got 16th notes, and it's just twice as fast. So if we think of this as just like 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a digga-digga-da-da, digga-digga-da-da. So you're just going twice as fast. So if you actually want to work on like how does something sound, a specific rhythmic pattern or whatever, then if you just slow this back down, like you want to hear what this sounds like at 23. That's what a 30-second note sounds like slow. That's why I've got the play-alongs going so slow. Like if you work on diddle interpretation, you can do 5-stroke timing or like the diddle timing. And if you work on this super slow, then you can hear what the 5-lit sounds like, etc. Again, all these play-alongs, it's super helpful to just slow this thing down as slow as possible. And if you work on this at 40, three, four, five, hippopotamus, hippopotamus, digga, digga, da. Okay, so this is a great way to work on whatever interpretation you've got to work on. Now, if you're working on fancier stuff, like, I don't know, Cerrone or De La Cluse or something like on concert snare, then what I'd recommend is just like plugging that into Sibelius, and then, or like Finale or Muse Score or whatever, and then like you can press play at 40 beats a minute and go, oh, that's what that rhythm is supposed to sound like, or whatever it is that you're working on. Hopefully that helps. Good question, though. Yeah, they're fun, though. I like 30-second notes. What was I playing at? 100, I think? 105. Here we go. Maybe? Nice. I don't know what my breaking point's going to be on this, but stay tuned. Today's episode of Jared Plays Things Publicly and Sometimes Messes Up. Actually, I should say, and every time messes up. Hasn't been a stream where I haven't made a mistake. So this advanced stick control with filler is a fun exercise to work on your hands, but if you were to play this with like your feet, ooh boy. Or like maybe put the right sticking on like the right foot and the left sticking on the left hand. Talk about working on hand-to-hands. So it starts off normal, and then you fill in, and then you go to triplets. Triplet, 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 triplet. Second pattern, triplet version, third pattern, fourth pattern, last pattern, inverted roll. Nice. That's fun, right? Yes, we have no bananas. All right, let's try 120. After we crash and burn, then I'm going to chop out and then call it. At least for today. going to be the breaking point for today. Who knows, though? Maybe I'll get to 130. It's hard with these heavy sticks, but it's a good challenge. Whoops. Slowing down. Yikes. Well, it didn't completely crash and burn, so let's completely crash and burn. Let's go to 130. I'm going to lower the heights a little bit. We're going to make it an ASMR drumming stream. Ew. My left hand's slow. Yikes. Wow. Well, folks, we found the breaking point. Success. Except failure? If you want to find that play along as well as hundreds more, there's over 1,500 hours of free content. JaredO'Leary.com/drum. Now that I've shown you, the play alongs, 30-second notes. Let's see. It's just twice as fast as 16 notes. So, like this one. Let's go back to where I was at. Okay. So 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Now, you're going to have the and a, but now you're going to play 4 notes in the place of 2. So digga digga and a, digga digga and a, digga digga and a, digga digga and a. This one. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Digga E and digga E and digga E and digga E and. Okay? So you play 2 in the place of 1 note. Digga da da digga da da. Triplet. Digga polet, digga polet, digga polet, digga polet. Tut digga digga da, tut digga digga da. Tut digga da, tut digga da. Digga 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 da. Digga, 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 da, etc. That makes sense. Just twice as fast. Speaking twice as fast, we're going to chop out now, and I'm going to play my favorite Velvet Knights 5/4 shopping spree. You are very welcome. And we're going to do this just to end the stream by playing something for funsies. And we'll start off at a nice 110. I'm going to try and crash and burn here. Nice. let's go faster. 115. Whoa, no. 150 definitely comes after 110, but a little too far. Hey, stop. 120 might be my breaking point. My left hand is so tight this morning. I need to massage it again later. All right. 125. This is going to be it, folks. But first, toast. It's got peanut butter on it. That's good. Whoops. Yikes. Well, that's the breaking point. We found it. Success. Almost 1,600 hours of free content on here. Timestamps in the description. Highly recommend it. I will be on again tomorrow for a drumming stream. I'll be working on technique, breaking stuff down, going one click at a time, improving things. And you can find my schedule, actually, if you go to when is my next stream or /schedule on my website. You can see that. You'll also see that that is a 6 spree, right? It's my favorite. You can also see tonight I'll be doing some Fortnite. 9 o'clock Eastern, and I'll be live on these 4 different platforms simultaneously. But tomorrow, doing some drum technique stuff in the morning. And yeah, good time. So if you want some more sprees, another good one that I like is the Blue Devils 9 shopping spree. That one's a good one. The 4210 is also a fun shopping spree variation. It takes the 421 and applies it to the stock spree, so it makes it pretty cool. But another spree-like variant, the slow paradiddle, and then the float drag variation is kind of like that, but these are all fun. So there's 9 variations, yeah, in here. So check it out. It's called slow paradiddle because of the accents. So you do hand-to-hands, paradiddle, paradiddle, and then you do it with like back-to-back hand-to-hands on flam 5s or whatever rudiment you put into it. So thank you, everybody, for asking such good questions. I appreciate it. I'm glad I can help in some way. So stick around for more streaming and more content. Every day, a new play-along on my YouTube channel. But again, the best way to sort through all my content is my website. But if you don't want to go there, that's totally fine. You can go to the homepage or the playlist tab, and you simply click on this header for more. It shows you all of the playlists on here. It's harder to organize things on YouTube, but try and keep it nice and easy for you. So stay tuned for more. But anyways, I'm going to call it here. I'll be back on tomorrow morning for drumming, tonight for gaming. So goodbye, everybody.